hello and welcome back to Cities Skylines 2 and our ever-growing town of West Bambridge. Today's episode we kick off proceedings just on the outskirts of our district of Montrose, looking towards the city hospital, and in the distance there further back we can see the high rises of Penketh, one just growing in at low resolution, if you can just see it there over the top of one of the hospital wings. And before we get started, a bit of housekeeping for you all. Between episodes, what I have done is, after doing some reading, I discovered that the 81 tile unlock mod can sometimes cause issues later on in the game, and the best way to avoid the potential issues is to go ahead and to unlock all the tiles immediately. So I've gone ahead and done that, and that now means we have unlocked every single tile on this map. That's all 81 tiles now available. The downside is you don't have to pay for any of the tiles that you unlock, which is a shame, and it also does remove that feeling of progression and actually earning the right to unlock another parcel of land for your city. However, given the possibility of the mod causing problems later on, I thought this was a lesser of the two evils, and so I've gone ahead and unlocked the whole lot. Now, also between episodes, a few mods have been updated, including the realistic population mod, and that has caused the population to jump up a little bit. With that, we've also unlocked the next milestone off camera, which was Capital City. The main thing to bear in mind with unlocking the Capital City milestone is that you can now create your own custom university campus. Now, if you remember, that's something I was hoping to do a few episodes ago, but wasn't able to because we hadn't unlocked the privilege at that point. So now that we've done that, that's something we can do in the near future, but I don't think we'll end up doing it today. Today I've got another little plan in mind, something a little bit different, and something that will make use of the ploppable Rico mod rather than just zoning the residential, industrial or commercial and letting the game just pop the buildings in. We're going to do it a bit more, well, very much more hands-on. So let's bring up the user interface. It looks like we have an autosave just there. As we can see, we're surpassed 2 million in funds, 44,000 population, and a decent demand for RCI across the board. Oh, one other change I made between episodes is over here where we had all these office buildings. If you remember, a lot of them were abandoned because we didn't have enough workers available, and I'd basically gone too fast too quickly, or too big too quick. So I've removed a lot of the offices and just replaced them with some commercial buildings instead. So that's where all them notifications have gone. It was annoying me. Anyway, today's episode, what do I want to do? Well, if we zoom over here, courtesy of unlocking all of the tiles, we have this abandoned castle or fortification of sorts. And what I'd like to do is actually make a custom little village in this area. We can have an A road connecting to the motorway right here, the motorway which is very busy at the moment. Look at that. It's backlogged all the way down here. What's causing this, do we think? Okay, it's just everybody getting onto this road here. Ah yes, you can also tell I've changed out the motorway styles. We now have the UK style motorways, and this is backlogged as well. My god, we have some serious traffic build-up. But once they get off the roundabout, it is pretty free flowing, so I guess it's just a sudden influx of residents that might be an artifact of the recently updated realistic population mod. So I think once they all move in, we're gonna be okay. So I dare say we can leave that for now and just ignore it. one thing that we could do is rework this intersection here to make it a more fitting UK style junction with a roundabout leading onto this motorway here, which I do believe I have renamed as M1. Yes, I have. So if we were to remove all of this, we could extend this motorway further down here, do a quick roundabout and have it all connect up. But maybe I'll do that a little bit later, or even off camera, because it can be quite fiddly to get it looking reasonably decent. Yeah, okay then. For now then, we're just going to ignore all that traffic and hope it will sort itself out once the residents start to move into the city, and instead we'll turn our attention to building this new village I just mentioned. So we are going to need a junction off of the M36. So let's put a junction down first of all. You may notice there's been a slight change, or well, hopefully you won't notice, but if you have noticed the change in resolution, hopefully it's not having too much of a negative impact. But the reason is there was getting a lot of lag and stutter, so I've just been experimenting with changing a few of the settings, and hopefully it's not too noticeable. But if it is noticeable, that's why. If it's too poor, then I will change it back and we'll just have to deal with the poor FPS. Anyway, enough about that. Let's get this junction built. So we're doing 5, 5 for the curves like that, and then straight over 12 units, and then same again on this side, 5 by 5, and that should give us a pretty symmetrical oval, which it does. Now comes the fun part, trying to connect the slip roads up onto this new roundabout. If this takes a while, I'll probably do it as a time lapse, so if things start to speed up about now, you'll know it took me quite a while to do this, and if there's any editing, then it took me a heck of a long time, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully it won't be too bad. Right, so let's... okay, so that's going to be weird if I come out of there. Well, that's not too bad. What's that? 30 units. Okay. If we do the same from over here, 30 units. It's pretty level. And then we'll do the same down here. You can let me do 30? No. Okay, so we'll do 25 on this side then. And the same over here. It's not going to let me do that at all. Okay, there's always one, isn't there? I don't know why I determined to come off in that weird angle. Right, let's try it with a free-form road. Yeah, and what we'll do then is, using the Move It mod, we'll manually sort this out, I think, and just straighten that up there. Get that in line there, straighten that up. There, that looks okay. Maybe just take that a little bit further that way, just to kind of match it with that. That's okay. That side is pretty decent, not going to fiddle with that, that's okay. Right, now just to make sure the roads are going in the right direction. So this one needs to be upgraded, as does this one. Ah, that's a bit of a problem. Maybe it's because I moved. Let's just bring it, let's just stretch it out to about there and try that again. Okay, we might have to do this a little bit backwards, a bit arse over tit. Let's see here. If we do that, and then using the power of the Move It mod, straighten this out a little. That'll do. Yes, that will work. It's pretty decent. Okay, at this point then we're going to have an A road coming off of this junction. And for the A road, we're just going to use something like... we don't want parking. Maybe even just this. Maybe it's anything a little bit bigger, perhaps. That's one way. Maybe this one here. Yes, this will do. And we'll bring this down to ground level. And that looks absolutely awful. Maybe we just upgrade that. That looks better. Yeah. And then go back to this style road here. And this road is just going to head off towards the castle. And this is where we're going to have our little village. So this road's just going to pass straight on through where the village is going to be and disappear off to nowhere essentially, but yeah. So this is going to dissect our village and then we're going to build off of here. Now I forgot to turn off the trianarchy as we can see, so first of all let's make sure we turn that off for any future builds. And we're going to have to just quickly run over this road with the tree forest tool, right clicking just to remove all of these trees which for some reason have decided to grow through the main road. There we go, that looks okay. Just finish it off there. There we go, that's better. Right, and here's where we're going to have our little village. So now we're going to drop to the smaller style roads and we'll use... Which one shall we use? Yeah, we'll choose these ones, why not? And you can come off at a bit of an angle. And in fact, let's do something like that, and this can be like a little village square or triangle, I suppose, as it would be. We want also a small road that winds up to, that heads on up to the heads up the hill. Get your words out. Sort of like that, and we'll do some more with that a little bit later on. For now, what we're going to do is just smooth off some of those ridges that putting the road down has generated once the autosave has buggered off. There we go. Wonderful. And Binley Avenue, that's fine. And off here we're just going to have, in fact we'll use the smaller roads again, just have some small little lanes and streets. I'm not too fussed about keeping strict road hierarchy in the village. We can have it just a load of little roads going any which way. There we go, I think that'll do fine for a little village. Okay, so first thing we're going to need is some water out here. Now we may as well just use the existing water infrastructure that we have, and we'll run the pipes all the way out. Yes, they're not under a road over here, but we can get them to go back under the roads as we get close like this, and we'll just give this nice blanket coverage, and then through the village itself, or what will soon become the village. And what we'll do, using the ability to create our own districts, we'll create this village as its own separate district, and whatever the district name is, that will be the name of the village, if that makes any sort of sense. If not, you'll see what I mean in a few moments when we get around to it. But for now, we want to make sure we have good water coverage, which we almost do, just a little bit here, which didn't have any, so we need to blanket that in as well. And we're also going to need some power, but I think first of all we'll put down the amenities. Now, one of the things we do have access to is this little church here, which I think makes a lovely, obviously, village focal point and centerpiece. So what we're gonna do, we don't want it on the main road like that. If we go down to a nice small 2-lane alley, and we'll have this straight, Like, in fact, yeah, that will work just fine. And if we put our church there, then we can turn this into a little garden at some point with some, you know, some props and some decorations. We're gonna need some health care. Now, the most fitting thing that we have available would be one of these UK medical practices, so we'll use one of those. And again, you want these pretty much centered around your main avenue through the village. So that can go there, you know, just opposite the road from the church. Fire station, yes, we probably do want to give them a little fire station. That looks like a decent small one. And that can go just there. Some police presence as well would always be welcome, unless we have a better... No, we don't. Just these for the UK style, so that's what we're going to use. Now, they don't have power, and they're going to complain about that, but that's fine. While they're complaining, let's check on the traffic. Well, it's moving up onto the bridge, so that's the start. How are we doing over here? Yeah, as soon as it gets onto the roads here, it is free-flowing, so no real concerns at this point about the traffic. It's just the huge influx of people that we're currently experiencing. Okay, back to the schools, because we are going to want to give them their own school out here. Technically, the church is the school, but yeah, we want to give them a proper school, because this only has a capacity of 50. Doesn't need to be anything too big out here, I shouldn't think. And I want something that's got a country village sort of aesthetic. And again, I probably want to set this back off its own little access road. So we'll do that. Now we can build the school off this little access road. And we also, more than likely, that we will want to give them a little high school as well. But again, we want to... What about that one? That's... If it was a darker brick... Oh, that would have been better. Yeah, let's replace that for that. That's the perfect sort of school design that we want out here. It might have to be that, I think. And that can be up at the top end of town, up here. Like that. So there's the basic amenities. They're probably going to want to have their own recycling and refuse collection, but it's not going to be one of we don't want it inside the town. Maybe just a small recycling centre would do, and we can put that off of the main road back down here. So let's go back to this road, and we'll have a junction here, and just off of this road is where we're going to put the recycling centre. Could put a few more things down there, like maybe a small amount of industry in the future. There we go, we got the water, no power of course, but that will follow soon enough. We could chuck down a couple of wind turbines up here actually. Just up on the hill up here. With, let's use the suburban power lines for this. Just to run some power down from the turbines. And then like that. And then that's all of that connected to the new power grid. What we'll also do is, using the UK style 275 kilovolt power lines, we'll run from what will be a new industrial estate. Get your words out. We'll come alongside the motorway. And then we want to jump the motorway if we can squeeze this in. And the train line. And this can then follow the train line actually, and then follow the motorway again before heading along down here all the way down to this power grid connection that we have just here, and we'll give that a little substation just there, which hopefully is enough to jump over. Let's give them a handful. There we go. No, I don't like that. There we go. That's plenty. There we go. So now we've got the electricity pylons alongside the motorway, which is what you tend to see in the UK. Likewise alongside the train lines before crossing the river and then heading off here. And then what we'll do is from this point we'll give it a little substation just for the aesthetic appeal, which we'll do more of a little bit later. Put that just there, and then we'll drop back to the suburban power grid and bring this out like this. There we go. Everybody should now be happy with their power situation. You're still... oh no, there you go. Your complaint has cleared. Okay, so that's the skeleton of the village taken care of. Next thing we want to do is actually give it its own district, as I discussed after the autosave. There we go. Like that. That should cover it all. Totteridge Wood. Probably going to rename that to maybe just Totteridge. Yeah, just Totteridge. So this is our little village of Totteridge. Now we want to head to the ploppable Rico. We want low density, and we want UK. Oh, that's not all of them, is it? Oh, were they there? Thatched houses. I'll tell you what, then we'll do it a different way. What we'll do is we'll go into theme manager. We shall enable the theme manager, and we want to create a new theme. So new theme, and this will be UK village. And then what I'll do is I'll not leave all this, and I'll do a jump cut for this, and I'm just going to go through, and any of the houses that would fit in a UK village, I'm going to enable them to allow them to be used in this particular theme. So I'll see you in a few minutes once I've got all of that taken care of. Okay, so I've gone through and put in anything I thought would look good in the village. I've also included some commercial units and some industrial units as well, of course. So unfortunately we're not going to be able to do what I was hoping we'd do, where we basically make our own custom made village using the ploppable Rico mod, because I couldn't get it to work as intended, as we saw. However, using the theme manager we should get the same results, and we can always do a bit of custom decoration a little bit later on as well. So let's start by zoning in some areas, shall we? So we'll have some residences, of course, and residences along here. We want some commercial, but we don't need a lot of in fact, we don't want commercial on the church area. Bit of commercial in here as well, and in here, and then we'll go back to back to residential is what we wanted to do, and then we'll have a little strip of commercial here before dropping back to the residential, and all along here will be residential. We don't want residential on that side of the street though, and we'll just get all of this filled in like so. So we've got a mix of some terraced out. I don't like the fact that they're popping up in the middle when they're supposed to be on the corners, but well. Yes, we'll see how this develops. In fact, we'll go to 3 times speed. We need some industrial, so we'll give them a little industrial area out here. So a few industrial units fairly close to the village centre. And then what we'll do is we'll give this another connection point over there. Probably just want to... Ooh, Colossal City. Obviously another area, but we've unlocked them all anyway. Nuclear power plants, cargo hubs, floating cafes, helicopter stops, helicopter depots, blah, 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 blah. All very interesting, I'm sure. Let's just get that to curve a little bit more, with a bit more fluidity, shall we say. Because that was a bit odd. There we go, that looks better. And then just straighten that out like that. Yeah, that's fine. How does it look? It looks blurry. But, oh well, I'm not sure why that's as blurry as it is. It's just when the camera's at the angle. But never mind. So, back 2-3 times just while the village starts to populate a little. What we also want to do is maybe, as I said, turn this into some sort of churchyard, graveyard sort of area. Now, can I remember... Oh, here we go. If we search for grave, just single, please. Oh, here we go. This is what we want. And have a few graves along here. Like that. We want to put some more trees down in this area. And we want to go for a new brush, and what we want here are primarily horse chestnuts. You tend to, in my experience, tend to get a lot of those in graveyards, just like that. Lovely, yeah, that's fine. Want some sort of fence around this as well, so some sort of wall. Let's see, what wall options do we have? Brick wall, ooh, stone wall. Maybe that's the one we want. Let's turn off all of those hula baloos. Like so. Yeah, that's fine, that's fine. Oh, no water out here. Big problem, that. I forgot about those. There we go, now they're all happy. Everybody's happy. So a little industrial area for Totteridge. Village. It's not quite how I'd like it to be. I think this is all commercial, isn't it? Yes. Okay, what if we do this and just search for UK, not UIK. Here we go. Oh, UK, go away. That's it. And pubs, no. Terraced shops. This is what we want. In fact, let's pause that. And just want to get rid of some of these because we have. They just look. In fact, let's get rid of it all because it just all looks a bit weird. There we go. And we'll just put our own little shopping area in like this. And what we'll do afterwards is once we've got them all placed in, there's going to be some repeats, of course, but that's unavoidable. Anything in here? Oh, yes. And what are these here? Oh, they're probably a bit too big for a village, although let's have a look. And they don't look too bad. Not really sure you'd have a river island in the village, but there you go. You can go on the corner there. And then along here, we don't want that. Have one of those. And one of those. And now what we can do is, using the Move It mod, is just get all these to butt up against each other properly. Yes, that's fine, that's fine. They're all okay-ish. Just the autosave. Turn off the terrain height map, we don't need that anymore. And can we squeeze in a tiny little park in here? No, because they're building something. Well, what we could do is, before they build anything else down here, is put down a little footpath. Use a curved tool. Turn on the anarchy. Like that, and like this. And then we'll go and put down some trees in this area. A little sort of walk through village green area. In fact, let's go ahead and put down trees throughout the entire village. There we go. How does that look? Yeah, this sort of thing is not my forte, but I wanted to give it a try. Doesn't look too bad. I mean, I like the church looks good. What I'd like to do as well at some point, maybe not in this episode, but this area here, turn this into a large sort of country park, incorporating this ruined battlement stroke castle fortification, whatever it originally was. How does this look? It looks a bit abrupt, it just kind of ends, so I might have to do something with that. But yeah, tell you what, the best way to see how it looks is to hop on board and have a little go around. Where are you going to? You're driving to the quiet corner shop. Well, we'll see a little bit on this journey, so let's have a look, see how it does look. I think I need to change the road style so they don't all have trees constantly, because it's probably a little bit too much and it's just detracting from the houses a little bit. So what we'll do is we'll swap those out just for some regular roads. Let's see here, maybe just these ones here. Okay, there we are, that's even better. Yeah, that's even better. Where are you going? You're not going very far. What about you? Where are you going? Driving home. Where do you reside? Oh, you're... Oh my god, that's a long old drive, but I suppose you've got no other way to get out to the village, so that makes some sort of sense. We'll have to sort that out. Maybe a train linking the two, the village and the main town. But yeah, I think that's where we'll leave it for today. Let's find somebody who's going all the way back to... I know you're going to work, okay. What about you? Where are you going to? You're going to the drugstore. Let's hop on board and have a little drive through the countryside as we head back to that. Why is the texture so bad on these roads? I don't know. That is awful. Let me see if I can fix that. Okay, so the blurriness only seems to affect certain roads, mainly the UK modded roads. I'm not sure what that's all about. The others look pretty okay. Okay then, so what we're going to do instead is just take a ride on something in the main town. In fact, we might have to skip the ride for this episode because that has really annoyed me and I can't get it to look as nice as I hoped it would do. So instead, I think what we'll do is we'll head up to the ruins. In fact, no, we'll head up to the hill up here where we've got our little wind turbines, and we'll sit on top of the wind turbine and we'll have it like that for the outro. So I hope you enjoyed the episode. It didn't quite go as I'd planned it in my head, and building things custom styly as I tried to do with the little village centre there with all the shops isn't really my forte, and I think it's something I need to do a bit of practice on. But there you go, we've got a little village on the outskirts of our city, and I must say the skyline of West Bambridge does look good in the distance from up here. So all that means for me to say is, yeah, thank you very much for watching. As always, take very good care of yourselves. Ta-ta for now.